I go. Yes, sir! Let's cut to the chase, kids. We all know why you're here. Two-step. We all know why you're here. You want flames coming out of those exhaust tips. Oh, you come to the right area. I promise you that. Let's get started, bruh. Real quick, let's talk about what the WOT Box actually does. Obviously, the number one reason is because it adds two-step to your car. Another very good reason why people get the WOT Box is because it enables no lift shifting for your manual car. Well, I hear you ask, what's no lift shifting? It actually allows you to shift through your gears while you're driving without lifting your foot off the gas, so you're constantly in boost or constantly in your power band. Another great reason why people get the WOT Box is it also enables launch control. And last but not least, you can actually set it up to control your nitrous shots, which is pretty cool. But I won't be using that yet. Okay, let's just get into the install. So this will obviously be different for every single car. I have a 2011 Genesis Coupe, the BK1, because I do think that the BK1 and the BK2 Genesis are different for the installation process, because there's different wires you have to splice into, but it's not that difficult, honestly. There's 6 wires total. I'm not gonna even lie to you, I almost made the biggest mistake you can make when working on electrical in your car. I didn't disconnect the battery, dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Oh my gosh, golly, guys. Almost got electrocuted like crazy. Almost died. Yes, sir, big boy. Let's connect this real quick. Okay, so got the battery off. I put this cloth here so it won't make an accidental connection. Also, that one's off. Right here, it's tucked in a little bit so it won't make a connection. All right, let's go back inside the car. Okay, so I actually did take the liberty of taking off the throttle already. This was over here, was placed right there, and it was held in place with one 10mm bolt, and it slid up and it came right off. This connector right here connected to this sensor plug, and the wire you're going to be splicing into, let me actually bring the light, you guys can have a really good view, is that pink one. This pink wire right there, the hot pink one. Sorry if you guys don't have a good view. Let's sharpen the light. This hot pink wire right there. You see that? What I'm touching. You're gonna cut into this hot pink wire and splice the blue cable coming from the wiring harness from the WOT Box, and that goes into your throttle. Okay, so I actually pulled back some of the electrical tape to expose the wire a little bit so you can get a good look of what I'm talking about. So it's gonna be, let me focus real quick, this hot pink cable right here. There's like an orange wire here that I know is pretty stupid, but I feel like some people might get confused with this orange one and this pink one. So make sure it's the hot pink wire. So here's the clutch pedal, correct? You're gonna follow the clutch pedal, go up, go up. You're gonna see this connector right there. Don't mess with this connector. That one, we're not touching it, we're not looking at it, ugly. We're gonna keep going up, following the clutch, We're gonna look more up, right? Like the clutch pedal keeps going, going, going. Look more up, and you'll see that connector right there, right? This connector is for the cruise control. There's 2 connectors on the entire clutch. this one, which you're not touching, and then this one, which is the one you will be touching, right? This is the cruise control, like I said. You'll be splicing this green wire. Hopefully you can see it. I really hope you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. This green wire, and you're gonna be splicing it into the green wire that goes into the WOT box. I'm gonna splice the green wire from the cruise control into the green wire from the WOT box. Like I said, I'm gonna clean it up later, shorten up the wires, and put heat shrink and do it professionally later. This is just for testing. Now that we got both the throttle position and the clutch position wires attached, we can now run the rest, the yellow, red, and orange wire into the engine bay. So the good thing about the Genesis Coupe is it actually already has a grommet right there, as you can see. So I'm going to remove that grommet and snake the yellow, the red, and the orange cables through and snake them out through the engine bay. One more thing before we actually leave the inside of the car. So the wiring harness came with one more wire I didn't talk about, and that's this black wire, and black is ground. So I connected my ground right here to this bolt or this nut and some bare metal. It came not actually connected to the connector, so the wire and the connector itself were separate. So I just connected it real quick, put it on some bare metal, we got ground. So we got blue for the throttle position, green for the clutch, the cruise control, and then black for ground. And that's all the wiring you have to do for the inside. Inside's pretty much done already. Clean up some wires, you know, mount this back, and inside's done. Let's head to the engine bay. Okay, so now we're in the engine bay. It is starting to drizzle a little bit, so I'm gonna try to like, not rush through this, but you know, try to go pretty fast. So we actually ran the 3 cables from inside the car through the grommet, through the firewall into the engine bay. The yellow wire, leave alone for now. Take the orange and red wire and bring them all the way around here to your fuse box, right? Your fuse box will have 2 bolts, 2 nuts, one right here and one right here holding it in. You can slide this up. There are 2 sections to the actual fuse box container. Pull apart the fuse box container, and the wire you're looking for is right in your face. It's this green one right here. Right here. And to check, you can follow this green wire and make sure it goes right here to this 20. You can, I can't really show it to you, but just trust me that this wire goes up to that 20. And we can maybe check a little bit. As you can see, it's going to rain a little bit. If we look, that 20 is ignition coil. As you can see right there, ignition coil. We're splicing into this 20, which is this wire, which is the ignition coil. Once you've cut the green ignition coil wire in half, you're gonna splice the red wire coming from the WOT box onto the half that's going up the fuse box that's connected to the actual fuse, and the orange wire to the half that's coming out of the fuse box going to the actual ignition coil. Red, orange. This was the part I personally had the most trouble with, and that's getting the RPM input from the ECU. I looked all over the place, like all over the place, for the correct pin to splice into for the ECU, and I finally got it, but I'll try to make this as clear as possible. First, we're going to remove the harness from the actual ECU. We're gonna pull back these 2 green clips, take this lever, pull it all the way back, so you can pull off the actual harness, set that to the side for a second, pull off this one, all the way back, and pull it. So we're going to be working on this left plug here. We're going to have to remove this top cover, which covers up all the wiring. You can access that with this little clip. Put a little flat head right there and pry up, and this whole part comes off. Now that we have the top cover off the ECU plug, the wire you're going to be splicing into is this black wire on the first row. This took me so long to actually find out the correct pin, but I will tell you, it is on the first row, on the very top, and it's the 15th pin, and it's the black wire. And I do believe this is the same for the BK1 and the BK2. First row on the top, 15th wire in the first row. It's this black wire right there. And you're gonna splice the yellow wire coming from the watt box. And this is your RPM signal. Just wanna give you a quick look on how it should look after you're done. The ECU plugs are nice and secured on the ECU. Brought the lever back on and clipped in these green clips. So you should see a nice clean yellow wire coming out of the back. Let me tuck that in a little bit. I ran the wires around here. I'll probably clean it up and tuck it in a little more. Screwed back in or bolted back in the actual fuse box and ran the wire outside coming from where the harnesses go into the fuse box. So it's clean enough. So it's not gonna be like tangled up or any heat's gonna mess with the wiring for now. I'll clean it up a little more when I have more time. Now that we're inside the car, we're gonna start programming the watt box. You can find the file folder with the instructions, driver, and application on their official website. So the first step is we're gonna install the driver. You're gonna click on driver, click on run. It's gonna start installing. You're gonna allow access. You're gonna see this screen right here. You're gonna click install. The driver has successfully installed onto your computer. Now we can actually open the actual software. We're gonna click run, and here's the interface where you will start programming and actually interfering with your watt box. To check if the watt box is getting signal from the actual car, we're gonna start the car and click read, watch the RPM input, and it should produce a signal. So we're gonna start the car. Watch RPM, I'm gonna give it some gas. Click read, and RPM went up. As you can see, I'm pushing my clutch all the way down. It says 5 volts down when I click read. That's correct, I'll lift up the clutch. Baby, what the fuck? Oh no, I forgot I'm in gear. No, I'm putting in the video.
He almost killed me, guys.
I'm putting in the video, bro. Oh my, sorry babes. Oh my, I just stalled. Oh god.
Worst driver ever.
Let's forget about that. Let's come back to this.
Nope, I'm keeping it.
Okay, so right now the clutch is all the way up, so I'm gonna click read. The clutch is fully up right now, so as you can see right here, it says 0.0 volts up, which is correct. When I push down the clutch all the way and click read, it says 5 volts down, which is correct. Okay, we're gonna test the throttle response. So right now it says 0.37 volts up, which is okay. We're gonna push the throttle down and read. Now it's 2.4 volts up, and that's correct. So that means that it's getting voltage from the throttle response. Great. Now that we verified we're getting signal from the actual car, we can tell the watt box where to get the RPM signal and the number of cylinders and stuff. So I have the 3.8 liter V6, so I inputted the number of cylinders, 6 cylinder. For RPM source, I'm gonna go down, and my car isn't listed here, so what I will click on is other fuel injected signal. Perfect. Now that we know the watt box is getting signal from the car, and we told the watt box what type of car and how many cylinders I have, we can start actually programming the watt box. So to check if it's actually connected correctly, I like to turn off launch control and enable rev limiter and set it to a pretty low RPM, just so I can test it. Let's put it at 2 grand, and let's click right. See, it's programming. Programming was successfully complete. So I actually set it up to limit at around 2,000 RPM. So I'm gonna start the car, give it a little rev, and see if it limits me. So I have the RPMs for launch control set for 3K, and I have rev limiter set for 6.5. I won't right now because that's pretty loud. I'm in the neighborhood. But I will hit launch control at 3K, see if that works. Let's try it.